But good morning. My name is Sherry Sword, and I am the VP of Communications for the Better Business Bureau. And I am thrilled to see you all here this morning. Should only be an hour, but I want to answer any and all questions that you have. And my friend Steve Geib is here as well to answer any questions that you have. He's the one with the big Ohio State behind him. Big fan. So yay, thank you, Steve, for joining us. So let me go ahead and get started. And I am a very informal person. So if you have any questions along the way, just give me a shout out, unmute yourself and ask, because it's probably a question that somebody else has as well. So don't hesitate to ask me. So let's talk a little bit about the Torch Award for Ethics. Now, I am going to apologize right off the front. This is the first year the award is called the Torch Awards for Ethics. In the past, you're probably familiar with being called the Eclipse Integrity Awards. So I may slip and say Eclipse Integrity Awards, but I really mean the Torch Awards. So I don't want to confuse anyone. We have had the Eclipse Integrity Awards in our market for nearly 30 years. But this year we have to abide by the national brand. And so we are going with the Torch Awards for Ethics to follow our national guidelines. So who I am, again, I am Sherry Sword, Vice President of Communications. I have been with the BBB 26 years this month. I started when I was a babe, but I have been here a long time, and the Torch Awards are my baby. So I really love this part, and I am here to help you however I can. Please take note of my email and phone number. Don't hesitate to reach out to me at any time. There is no question too small, too big. I am there to help you through this process. So we're going to go over today, talk about the awards in general, every little nook and cranny of it, and answer any questions you may have along the way. So we're going to cover it all. And if there's something that you have a question about, again, don't hesitate to ask me. So as I said, we started the Eclipse Integrity Awards in 1994. This year we are adopting the national program in the BBB Torch Awards. It is a streamlined, simple online application. I think you will love it. It's very easy. So we'll talk about it. It really covers the 4 C's of business. So you're going to talk about the character of your organization's leadership. You're going to talk about how your culture is authentic and how you foster that with your team, how you have great relationships with your customers, as well as your reputation in the community. So we will talk about all of that this morning, and what you can do to substantiate those things in your application. So the benefits of winning the award are many, and I know Steve will talk about that as well. And Steve, if at any point you want to add something, again, just unmute yourself and add it in. But you will be honored at a dinner attended by 500 plus local business leaders. We are hoping to go back to our normal size event, which is normally 500 plus. Last year, we had to limit it to 300 plus because of the whole COVID thing. You get to award that you can proudly display in your lobbies and with your team. It is a lovely award. You will have increased employee pride and a strong sense of accomplishment because they're going to be recognized for doing the right thing. Get media exposure about the accomplishment. We sing your praises from the rooftop, including we have a fly sheet in the Dayton Daily News the Thursday after the awards where we recognize our finalists and our winners. And then you get to promote the accomplishment in your own promotional pieces. You can put the logo on your business cards, on your trucks, on banners, on your building. I know Think Patented has a big wall art piece that they use on their wall. It is huge. It takes up the entire wall. So you can do that as well. So there's all kinds of things that you can do. You'll be showcased as an ethical leader. What better thing is there for that? Our ethics and our integrity are so important to all of us. So it's an opportunity for you to do that. And sometimes it is a deciding factor for prospective employees. Right now, it's hard to find that talent to fill your team's needs. So this can be something that can put you over the edge. So let's talk a little bit about eligibility. So it is open to for-profit companies, 501c3s, and 501c6 nonprofit organizations. You do not have to be BBB accredited or a BBB charity seal holder to go for this award. We've had those that are accredited and those that aren't win. So that is not a requirement in any way, shape, or form. For-profit and 501c6 applicants have to have a B rating with the BBB. And if you don't know, we rate businesses from an A+ to an F, just like in school. So we're saying that our winners are the cream of the crop. So you have to have a B rating or higher. 501c3 nonprofit applicants have to meet our charity standards. And if you're not familiar with those, you can go to our website as well. And if you don't know your rating, go to your website and pull up your company's report and see what your rating is. You have to do business in the BBB service area. We cover 7.5 counties, and those counties are listed there. And organizations have to have been in business for 3 years. We want to know that your integrity has been long running. You just didn't open your doors last month and done a great job, and you're going to win the award. We want to see some tenure for that integrity being in place. And of course, all your financial obligations must be met. In addition, applicants are not eligible to apply. Applicants are not eligible if they've received the BBB Torch Awards or the Eclipse Integrity Awards in the past 3 years. Government agencies are not eligible to submit an application. We are a business association. We are a consumer advocacy organization. We also are a charity organization. So government agencies, we just don't have that at this time. You must disclose any major lawsuits in your entry, and that's really important. Now, when I say major lawsuits, I am not talking about those angry customers from hell. We all get those. I am talking about government actions, things that we report in your business profile. So you must disclose those. If you think you have something that may or may not apply, shoot me an email or give me a call afterwards and we can talk about it. We have had to have companies pulled from the competition because of lawsuits. So it's better to be upfront with it than to not be. And of course, you're not eligible if you serve on the Torch Award Planning Committee or if you're a major sponsor. And by that, I mean a principal sponsor or a Students of Integrity sponsor. Cool. Any questions about eligibility? Okay. So talking about judging a little bit, the entries are reviewed by a panel of judges that are independent of the BBB. I don't even look at your nomination except for the actual entry form, but they are not BBB staff and they are not board of directors. They will make personal visits. Yes, Holly, LLC companies are eligible. I see that in the chat. Judges will make personal visits to award finalists, and we call those the site visits, and they will only be made to those award finalists. Judges' decisions are final. So even though you may not like a company or my judges do their due diligence, they are passionate about the job that they do. Many of them have done it for 25 years. And so they really, really are passionate about it. And I am confident in their decisions. If they think that they have heard something, but it's not in your entry, have been very often they go through the website and look it up to make sure and verify it first. Judges may choose not to issue an award if in their estimation there is no entry worthy of it. And that has also happened in the past. So let's talk about criteria a little bit. So I mentioned it's all about the 4 C's. So what's going to happen when you complete your entry is there are 4 sections that you'll complete, and each will talk about one of those 4 C's. Within each section, you'll have a small essay that you'll submit about that value, as well as submit some documentation that you have to support that you have that value in place in your business. You don't have to create anything new. All it is uploading things that you already have in place in your business. It's like your mission and vision statement. It's like your strategic plan. Those are things that you already have. It's just uploading them and putting them all in one place. But that first criteria, you all cannot see my participants or my chat up, right? I'm not covering things up for you. Steve, you can't see it, right? You're the only one I can see. Are you good? Okay. Thank you, Jane. So let's talk about the first criteria, and that is your character. And this is going to be written from the perspective of your leadership. You can ghostwrite it, not a problem, but it's from your leadership's perspective on how they set the tone for your organization, how they behave intentionally and communicate with your constituents about their beliefs. So you're going to actually go through and answer these 3 questions in blue in your essay. I would actually use these 3 questions as subheads in your essay, so it's very clear to the judges that you are answering those questions. So you're going to talk about how the leadership strives to lead with character. You're going to talk about how the leadership empowers your staff to maintain ethical business practices. You're going to talk about the tools and the activities or training that are used within your organization. And it's all written from your leadership's perspective. It's all about how they walk the talk for the organization. And again, I would recommend using these as subheads in your essay. Your essay does not have to be long. I would suggest 2 pages, but it does not have to be long, but you want to make sure that you do answer these questions. And then you'll also get the substantiating documents for those 2. I am tongue-tied today, y'all. I'm sorry. It must be too early for me and not enough coffee. So the second thing that you're going to talk about is your organization's culture and how you work with clarity of purpose within your organizations to help you grow. And again, there are 3 questions that you're going to answer in your essay regarding your culture. And again, I would use them as subheads. And you're going to talk about how you unite your team around mission and vision. You're going to talk about how you empower employees to do the right thing and how your company practices, uses and demonstrates leadership within your individual employees. So you're going to answer those 3 questions for your team as well. And the third is all about your customer relationships and what you do to maintain those great relationships with them. There are 3 questions, again, that you're going to use in your essay, and you're going to talk about how you empower your employees to be proactive. You're going to talk about how they go above and beyond with your customers, as well as their commitment to honesty and making a difference with your customers. So those are the 3 questions that you will answer then. And then the 4th criteria is community. And this is all about your reputation in the community and what you do and how you give back. And so these are the 3 questions that you will answer on that essay. It's going to talk about the programs or events that your organization has in place. You're going to talk about how your employees are encouraged to be active in the community. And you're also going to talk about your donations and in-kind services that you provide to the community as well. Any questions about the criteria? Again, I think your essay is no more than 2 pages, would be sufficient to answer these questions. I can't emphasize enough that I would use these as subheads. You don't have to use the whole question as your subhead. You can summarize it, cut it down to 3 or 4 words, but I would use them so the judges know that you are answering those questions. It's very clear to them. Everybody's cool? Okay. Y'all are very quiet this morning. So let's talk about best practices. So the award evaluates organizations on their ethics and integrity. So dear Lord, please use ethics and integrity throughout your nomination. That's what it's all about. So make sure you use those words and reflect on it throughout your nomination. It's not about your profit on impact on community. We all know you're doing great things, but we want you to talk about the best practices that you use to do so. It's not about what your organization does, but how it does it. We talk about being a storyteller all the time, not even just with this nomination, but throughout our organizations. This is a great time to be a storyteller and tell your story. If you're, I know Travis, I think we've talked about this. If your company is not headquartered in the Miami Valley, that's fine. You can still go for this honor, but your nomination should reflect your local activities. It shouldn't be so much about your headquarters, but really about what you're doing here locally. Now, there will be some things, some policies and things that come from your national headquarters, but it really should be about what's going on here locally. The other thing is carefully select your letters of recommendation. Don't include 100 letters of recommendation. You want to make sure that they're meaningful. So let me give you a, for instance, if you go to your chamber and ask for a letter of recommendation, all you're going to get is a form letter in most cases. In fact, I have had a chamber representative tell me that's the case. So you want to make sure that your people that are recommending you know what the award is all about and the story that you want them to tell on your behalf. So make sure they're meaningful. And again, it's nothing that you need to create new. They are all things that you already have, and they're all in your organization's DNA. Use examples. Those substantiating documents are really important. So include your mission and vision statement, include those strategic plans, whatever they may be. I'll give you a list of some examples. That list is not the end all be all. It's just to help you get that brainstorming going, but I'll share that with you here in a little bit. The judges are looking for evidence that what you're saying in your nomination and in your essays is really in place within your organization. And the site visit even takes that a little further. You want to provide examples such as stories, statistics, awards, things that you're doing in your industry, everything that is about your ethics and integrity. The judges are looking for how your organization measures its efforts, as well as use personal stories. So when you're doing your substantiation, it may not be a form, it may not be a mission statement, it may not be anything formal. It may be a paragraph about how one of your team members went above and beyond. So use those motivators, those inspirations to tell your story in your application. Cool? Any questions about best practices? Couple of other things, take time and write things out ahead of time. That's what I hear from people. Upload your documents into the application. One thing I would suggest when you're uploading your substantiating documents is I would go through and put all of your substantiation documents into one file, label them, make them easy for the judges to see what you want them to see, highlight, bullets, pullouts, whatever you need to do to make it very easy for the judges to know why you're including it as substantiation. I'd put them all together, scan them as one document, and then upload them into that one section. But take time and make it very clear and easy for the judges to know why you're including it. I wouldn't necessarily put your whole employee handbook in it. That could be pages and pages and pages, but pull out those pages that are relevant to the integrity and ethics of your organization. You want to make sure that it's very easy to understand for the judges. Talk about your trends, comparisons, the benchmarks that you use to let you know you're doing a great job. Talk about your goals as they relate to ethics, how you're formalizing ethics in your organization. Some companies have an ombudsman that they use, so you can put that job description in. What are you doing to go above and beyond in your industry, and what you're doing different? What makes you the best of the best? So talk about those types of things as well. So let's talk a little bit about those supporting documents. And I'm not going to go over this whole list. And I send you this recording as well as the PowerPoint after our presentation today. So you have it as well to refer back to. But you can see here's a list of some things to include. You don't have to include it all, but it's just to help you start think about things to include. So there's those basic things that we talked about, those company statements that you can include. One of the very cool things to include is those stories about how your team has gone above and beyond. So for instance, when Rumpke applied for the award several years ago, they sent an email out to their team asking for those stories of how their team members have gone above and beyond. And they found out a story that they didn't know about until after going through this process. But a team member found one of their, as they were going through the route, there was a lady on the side of the road pouring through her trash can, sobbing. And come to find out that the woman had lost her diamond ring in her trash. Well, that driver stopped his route and helped her go through the trash to find that diamond ring. He didn't have to do that. It took him off his route and his schedule, but he sure as heck made a raving fan for the company. So those are the kinds of stories that you can tell. And you may not know about them until you start going through this process, because they just do it because it's the right thing to do. So ask for those stories about how they've gone above and beyond the call of duty. Go through and just do a listing of your certifications and awards that you've won. You don't have to put a paragraph about each of the honors, but do a listing of the awards that you won, the recognition that you've received. Actually go through and talk to your team as well, and send an email asking how your team is active in the community. Again, you'll probably be surprised by what you find out. You may have team members that are coaching softball. They're serving and teaching Sunday school and church. They're on a community board. Find out all those things and just send out emails, ask them for their community participation, and then include that list in your submission. Because what they do is when they're serving on those boards, on those foundations, donating, whatever it may be, they're spreading your footprint even further. Because like me, when I'm serving on a board, I'm always talking about the BBB. They should be doing the same thing and expanding your footprint as well. So talk about those things. Another very cool thing, an easy thing to do, is to create a 2-minute video about your organization. And nowadays, it is so easy to do with your cell phone. It doesn't have to be fancy. Use your cell phone, talk to an employee, talk to a customer, talk to a board member, and have them talk about your organization and its ethics. I'll tell you, there is a very cool program if you want to do a little finessing with those videos, and it's called Animoto. It's ANIMOTO.com. It's like PowerPoint for video. It's so easy. If I can do it, y'all can do it. It is so easy to use, but you can use that if you want to do a little finessing with those videos. But it doesn't have to be fancy, but let some of your constituents toot your horn for you within your supporting documents. Here's some more things that you can consider including in your substantiation, wherever you feel that it is appropriate. Put a listing or pictures of your employee events. Again, we talked about those ethics officers, ombudsmen, put their job descriptions in it. You can talk about how you collaborate or partner with other organizations and how it's made your organization stronger. So look at these types of things that are going on within your organization and include them. Your annual report, your annual meeting details, include that. Again, these are all things you already have. You just have to put it together in one place to be able to submit it. So don't be overwhelmed. All the things that we're asking things for are actually in the DNA of your business. It's just putting it all together in one place. Any questions about supporting documents? Are y'all still with me? Okay. So let's talk about the process. Thanks, Holly. What you're going to do is you are going to go to bbb.org and you're going to go to these three little lines up here to our menu bar, and you're going to scroll down to Torch Awards, and you're going to come to this page. Once you come to this page, you are going to click on the Enter Your Business or Charity, and you're going to click on the Click to Enter. And this is where you're going to start completing your entry form, submitting your essays, as well as submitting your substantiating documents. Super easy, not hard. Once you do start doing that and you click on that, you're going to go to this page, which is going to go over all the things that we just went over. It's just going to detail it again. and it's going to be there for you. And then you're going to start entering the entry form type information. So you're going to put your organization's name. You're going to put the number of full-time employees that you have. All those who, what, where, when, why kind of questions are going to be there for you. And then you're going to start entering your essays as well as uploading your supporting documents. So what you'll do is you'll go through and in Word or whatever kind of word processing document you're using, you're going to write out your essay, and then you're going to copy and paste it into this box. And then you're going to upload your supporting documents here. Now, the very cool thing is, if you're like me, it's very hard to sit still for a whole day and get this all done in one sitting. There is a save function. So you don't have to worry if you get called away or you know you don't have all time to do it in one sitting. There is a save function that you can take advantage of. Cool. Any questions about the actual submission? I would really encourage you not to do it alone. I still want you to talk to me after March 1st. So gather some help, form a staff committee. Maybe you have someone from your operations team, someone from your administrative team, someone from your finance team, all come together and help. Maybe you have a board member or a board member's family member that's willing to help you put this all together. Rally volunteers, hire an intern. We are a college town, y'all. We have so many colleges and universities. This is a great opportunity for them to get a great resume builder. So you could get an intern, paid or unpaid. So we have Central State, we have Sinclair, we have Wright State, we have UD. So look at an intern and see if you can't do that. I can tell you from experience, the food bank hired someone to do it as an intern. He actually completed the process 2 years in a row, and finally they won the second year. He is now an employee of the food bank. So it was a great resume builder for him. It was a great way for him to get to know the organization really well. And so he became an invaluable team member for the food bank. So it is super doable. You all are ahead of the game today. So I kind of put together a mock schedule to help you see that it is very doable. So today and tomorrow, draft a letter from your leadership saying that you're going for this award, and that if you go to them for support or information, that they should lend it to you. I know that, for instance, when Think Patented was going for the award, Niels went through and sent an email out to the team saying that they're going for this award, they are going to win it. So just make sure that they support Christy as she was putting it all together. So get that letter from your leadership. You can draft it for them, ghostwrite it for them. Put boxes in a common area or folders on the internet so people can just throw things in that they think you may want for that entry. And then you can just sort through it to find out what you want and what you don't want. Rally that help today and tomorrow. Then send out those emails and ask for those letters of support. Think about who will be the best ones to communicate that for you. And send an email to staff. One, asking them about those stories about going above and beyond, and two, for those lists of boards and committees that they are and have served on. Then the rest of the month, write your essays and to gather that supporting business documents. So spend January doing that. So you have 4 weeks to get that all together. Then in February, you're going to review it and fine tune it, have others review it and fine tune it. I will tell you, I'm going to speak for Steve and hopefully he won't hit me. Steve would be a great one to look over your nominations and give you some feedback. There are any past winner, I'm sure would be happy to do that for you. So if you want someone to look it over, don't hesitate to reach out to look it over. And there's also lots of times when we get into our own jargon, and when someone from the outside looks at it, it really brings things to light that you need to do a little clarification on. So review it, fine tune it, have others review it and offer feedback. And then on March 1st, submit it and you can get it all online. Now, be aware though, we are technology and we all know how technology doesn't always work for us. So make sure you have that window to get it submitted, because you don't want something to go wrong and then it doesn't get in on March 1st. And then March 2nd, start planning your site visit. And we'll talk a little bit about that, and then I'm going to turn it over to Steve to provide his perspective. Site visits are going to be April 1st, and those are only for finalists, and it's going to be a really quick turnaround. So I am going to notify finalists on March 25th that they are a finalist. And by the way, the judges are coming on April 1st at 2 o'clock or whatever that time may be. So anyone that you want to participate in your site visit, you want to put April 1st on their calendar right now. Make sure that it's on there. There is no deviating from that April 1st date. I've had times when it fell on spring break, and I've had company leadership fly home from vacation to be able to do that site visit. I've had a school one time say, well, we're all on spring break. And I had to say, well, certainly not everybody has left town that you can gather people together to do your site visit. So mark that on your calendars right now. It's only in fairness to the rest of the finalists. Everybody has to do it on the same day. Now with the site visit, it's really where you show the judges that what's in your written submission was really in place in your organization. You can use a PowerPoint, you can do tours, you can have key staff tell stories, you can have clients tell your stories, whatever it may be. There is no right or wrong with this. I will tell you, do use the words ethics and integrity. The judges did tell me last year or the year before that there was a whole site visit, those words were never used. Well, the award is all about ethics and integrity, so make sure you use them. Be careful who tells your story. You don't want anybody really windy to eat up your whole 45 minutes. I would not have the same person talk for 45 minutes. No one wants to hear the same person talk for 45 minutes. About now, you're all getting tired of my voice. So think about that from your judge's perspective as well. And I will tell you, there was one instance 2 years ago, I think, where the judges told me that there was the leadership talk for the entire site visit, including telling a story about an employee and what the employee did. And the employee was standing right next to him. The employee could have told that story. So have others toot your horn during that site visit as well. But be prepared, time it out, tell your story. The judges are not coming to ask questions. They are waiting for a presentation from you. If you're not done in that 45 minutes, they will leave. Just in difference to the other finalists, nobody can have more time than that 45 minutes that's allotted. Cool. Any questions about site visits? All right. The site visit, I will tell you, is a game changer. We have had the points looking one way, that someone is going to be the winner, and then the site visit happens and it totally flips. So really make sure to spend some quality time on your site visit. Time it out, practice, know who's going to say what. So I am going to turn it over to Steve Guide from Agape for Youth, who they've actually won the award twice. And Steve, I am going to ask you to share your perspective on putting together a nomination, the site visit, and what it's meant to your company. So Steve, it's all you.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Yes, there's a part of me that throughout Sherry's sharing, I was just like, yeah, what she said. Yeah, what she said. But with that, you know, I will tell you, it's been a huge honor for us on both ends. Okay. I mean, we received the award in 2010, and that was after, I want to say, 3 years. That was the third year we had submitted, you know, and that was, again, that was a very big, you know, that was very big for us. But one of the things is we kept asking questions. We kept connecting with, we connected with Sherry, with anyone, you know, who could give us, you know, answers and such. You know, this year, I'd love to say everybody wins, you know, but the truth here is that's not going to happen. But what will happen is you're going to have the opportunity, you know, I'm going backwards before I go forwards, but you have the opportunity to read the judge's comments, you know, and taking those to heart. All right. Just the thing I really want to share with you is that probably one of the big things that this did for our agency is it really made us go back into the history of who we are, what we've done. Agape's now just celebrated 32, soon to be 33 years as an agency. And obviously there's a lot of information, a lot of dialogue, things like that. It's extrapolating, picking out those particular, what's seen as most important. I really appreciate what Sherry said about don't leave it to one person. Really, don't do that to yourselves. Put together your team. You're going to talk about your team you're going to be talking about your team in your presentation. The point that Sherry made is to site visits and such. Time those out. Seriously, our site visit 2 years ago was a Zoom call. All right. And I will tell you, we timed it down. Well, we didn't. Our marketing, our director of development and marketing she had put everybody in their slots and timed us all out. And we finished in 44 minutes and like 12 seconds. All right. And I mean, they clicked us off at 45. Thank you. We appreciate it. Click, you're done, and such. So don't think that they're going to give you extra time, because they're not. All right. Planning for your site visit, decide what, again, I know scripting it, however you want to look at it, decide what's most important to you as an organization to share about your mission and vision in that time. All right. The truth there is that you've already submitted a lot of information to them, and such. I don't know if necessarily bringing that all back up is, a benefit as much as, now walking them through, I love the term storytelling, tell the story, tell the story. And it's been, that I think has been huge for us, okay, as an agency. Some of the things that, I'm gonna go forward with is the impact to the organization. Again, it's not only wonderful to receive it, but it's wonderful to have the community say, wow, Agape received it, received the BBB, at that time, award. And, and we're very proud of it. We've utilized it in so many different ways, be it on our website, be it in our, all of our literature, you get an email from me, you're going to get a BBB award. We just put that information all out there. And that has been big. That's been big because people tune into that. They're like, wow, okay. The other thing I think that we sometimes don't do is, we're all very proud of our organizations, our companies. Yeah, it's okay to brag. It's okay to brag a little bit. Tell them about those things that you've done. Tell them what you've done in your community, or what you do as an organization in your community. And the thing about it is that, one of our tags for our agency was that we meet people where they're at. And we believe in that, and that's how we do it. But then the response from that was like, yeah, that's what that's about, and again, I'm very proud of my coworkers. I'm very, very proud of this organization and what we've done. The other things I think is that, again, when you utilize your team, as a team, decide what's the relevant information we want. We've got 45 minutes, okay? And what do we want to share in that 45 minutes? And when we're done, we're done. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate you, giving us this opportunity, and, working in that way. As Sherry said, I am more than open. You feel free. You can see my number, my, email address. Contact me. I have no problem having you come to Agape, seeing our mission in motion, as we say, and discussing. Here are some, not do's and don'ts. I'm not going to get into that, but here are some things that helped us, enhanced, our presentation, as an agency. Feel free. like I said, feel free to give me a call, feel free to shoot me an email. And, and that's one of the things that we've done as an agency is that, we're very community driven. So any way that we can help, we will. So if you have questions, please ask. This may not be, the time for it, but utilize it. Utilize your resources is what we say. Anything else, Sherry?
I don't think so. Does you have any questions for Steve now? Feel free to pick his brain. He's the bomb. He's a lovely person. And he is very, very heartfelt, means that he will help, I'm sure. But he is a great person to get to know and is more than willing to help you.
Thank you.
Okay. So just to kind of add on to a little bit about what Steve said, is there's so many great reasons to go for this award. Finalists and winners will get the logo to be able to use on your promotional materials. So you'll have that opportunity. So go for it. Oh, Jane says, congratulations, Steve. I will be sending winners and everyone, whether they're a finalist or not, the judges' comments. It's some great ways to build your business and enhance your business. So I will provide that to everyone. You can use that to build your business as well as to tweak your nomination for a future year if you want to go for it again. And this process is a great tool for you to use. I would recommend you keep a copy of everything that you submit and keep it handy to be able to share with your constituents. So for instance, you can share it with employees so they know the insides outs of your business and what your culture is and what you're all about. You can share it with fundraisers or people who are donors who may be visiting your organization. I know Wright Dunbar keeps it in their lobby and they share it all the time with donors that come in so that they can see what they're all about. And likewise, sometimes it's just a great source of history for you, where if you're like, well, how did we do that back in 2021? Well, you have it right there in your nomination. So it really is a great process. It's a great tool for self-discovery for your business. I encourage you to go through the process for sure. So award category, so you all know, it's based on the number of full-time employees that you have. And that's one of the things that's going to be on your entry when you submit it. I can't tell you exactly how it breaks down, but there are 4 categories for businesses and 2 categories for nonprofits. I will tell you, there was a year that we had so many nonprofits that we added a 3rd category. So that is always a possibility. I don't set those terms in advance. I used to, and it just ended up that they weren't competing apples to apples. So now I wait for all the nominations to come in and then I look for those natural breaks. And that's how they break down. But we look at the small, medium, large, extra large, and then a small to large nonprofit. Cool.
One of the things I want to jump in and add
Please.
to what you said, Sherry, is that especially in beginning this process, one of the concerns was, oh my gosh, how do we compare to other nonprofits who are so much bigger, have been around and such? Everybody, and this speaks to, I believe, the integrity of the BBB, is everyone is evaluated on their own merit, all right, and such. It's not about, I've seen nonprofits with, I think, less than 10 employees win, all right, and I've seen nonprofits with many employees win. All I'm saying is those judges are going to evaluate you based upon your individual organization. So take comfort in that. Please do that to yourselves, because I know that, there was one year where I'm glad we didn't, but there was one year where I was just like, how do we even compare? How do we even begin? And believe me, our director of development and marketing said, this is not what this is about, and we did. And that was the year we actually won. So thank you.
Absolutely. And Steve's absolutely right. It's not. PFLAG won one year and they have no employees. They're all volunteer driven. So it really is all about you and your organization and your best practices. So keep that in mind. Don't be dissuaded because you think you're too small, or you don't do this or you don't do that. Don't be dissuaded at all. The deadline is March 1st, so make sure your submissions are submitted by then. If you have any problems with the submission process, email me, call me, we'll figure out, but it has to be in by the close of business on March 1st. I am here for you. I want to be besties between now and March 1st and beyond, of course, but don't hesitate to reach out to me. I am there for you. I'm happy to help however I can. Email me. That's my cell phone number you see listed there. Don't hesitate to reach out. I am happy to help. As you know, I've been recording this webinar, so I will email that out to you as well as send you the PowerPoint. So you have that as well. But Steve is here for you. I am here for you. You can look on the website on the Torch Awards page and you can see a list of past winners. Maybe you have a connection with one of them as well. You can have them look at it. Have an outsider from your organization take a look at your nomination. But all we want you to do is be successful. So don't hesitate to reach out. So the next step is to go to bit.ly/2022 Dayton Torch Awards. Start your application, and I wish you the very best of luck. Is there any other questions or any other help that I can provide? Has it been helpful? Yes? No?
Hi. Yes, it has. I just want to
Hey,
say
Jamie.
thank you. Hi,
Good.
just not full of a lot of questions, familiar with your process, and thank you, Steve, for
Thank
your
you.
insight, and congratulations. And you know, it's a lot of work, so you have to hit the ground running. So
Yeah.
yeah, and we're a small team. So Jessica, our other half, is out on maternity leave. So we enjoying their bundle of joy. So, but it is doable, and we look forward to it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Good. I'm
Thank you,
glad.
Jane.
I'm glad. Well, I appreciate you all. I hope to hear from you all and answer any questions you may have, but I do wish you the very best of luck. You'll be getting an email from me later today with the things that I promised, and have a great day. Happy New Year. See ya.
Happy New Year. Take care.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks, Travis.